Hello everybody, Kyle here. I am going to review the new Michael Mann and Meg Gardiner book, Heat 2, which just came out a couple of weeks ago. It took me a little bit of time to read it. I had a lot of other books to read at the same time, but I finally got around to finishing it, and I thought this was a fantastic novel. I really loved the way that both Mann and Gardner fleshed out the world of Heat and the characters from that film, while also giving us some new characters to sink our teeth into and to learn more about. I think that for any fans of the film Heat, should definitely pick up this novel, and they should definitely give it a shot, because as many might be kind of unsure of whether they want to read a continuation of the story, what's also cool about this book is it serves as a prequel. So it's a prequel and a sequel, and I really love the idea that they have it say Heat 2 1988 to 2000, and those are the years that this novel covers. And it's very much like a Godfather Part 2 situation, where it's a prequel and sequel. But what I think is interesting is what Michael Mann decided to use as the prequel timeline, because it's not that far off from the 1995 time period that the first Heat takes place in. It's actually only a few years before that, and what's cool about that is that it's still, you can see the characters from the film portrayed in this novel. Like, you can hear them, you can tell this is Al Pacino's Vincent Hanna, this is Neil McCauley, played by Robert De Niro, and Val Kilmer's Chris, like all these other characters, Ashley Judd, Charlene, but it's set far enough back that they are not quite the same characters they were in the original Heat. What's really cool too is that there is a reason for why it takes place in these two timelines, and by the end of the novel, without going into any spoilers, they do link up in a very interesting way. I was most captivated actually by the stuff that Vincent Hanna had to deal with in this, because in the very first Heat movie, you get this whole spiel that he tells McCauley, how he sees all of the victims and all the people that have been murdered, like these ghosts sitting across from him, these people that want him to get justice for those that have been killed or wronged. And you get a sense of who are these people that Vincent Hanna is talking about. And we learn about this in the 1988 timeline. And I think that does a great job at fleshing out Vincent Hanna's psyche. And it also kind of helps, I think, when you rewatch the film after reading this book, you get a little bit more into what those characters were dealing with beforehand. Another character that this does a great job fleshing out is Val Kilmer's Chris, who in the first film, he was a supporting character, but he had a pretty pivotal role. There's a really, really touching scene. It might be my favorite scene in the film, when him and his girlfriend, played by Ashley Judd, Charlene, they are like in this really ugly / passionate relationship that you don't know whether she's going to rat him out to the police. You don't know whether he'll get away. And by the end of the film, actually, I still don't want to give any spoilers, just in case someone's watching this video that hasn't seen Heat. But all I will say is what she decides to do at the end of the film is really, I think, powerful. And they build upon that in this novel. Not just what she does after the events of the film, but what she does before the events of the film. And I think that Chris, as a character, he is given some interesting developments in this novel. It decides to situate the story in Paraguay at one point in the book, and he kind of transforms as a character. He becomes almost a different man, yet he still has the same elements that made him who he is in the film. Now, he ends up part of this. He's stuck in like the center of a conflict between two warring crime families, and he ends up falling in love with one of the daughters of one of the crime families. And it's, I think, a interesting predicament they gave his character, because now he is tied between two women, which is something that in the first film, if you watch, Chris is so devoted to his wife Charlene that he cannot detach from her. But then you get to see a man now actually faced with a crisis of identity. Who is he now when he's no longer attached to Charlene and he cares for someone else? There's also another great, I think, way of looking at this novel in terms of the way it depicts action, and it brings a lot of Michael Mann sensibilities to the way he shoots action in films. And all of the scenes, whether it's home invasions, whether it is shootouts, whether it's this epic highway chase at the very end of the novel, are so beautifully illustrated just by the words on the page and the way that they bounce off of each other. And I really, especially in the last 100 pages of this novel, because I actually read the last 100 pages in the last like 24 hours, they really are quite gripping. So yeah, like those are like most my positives. If I have any criticisms for the novel, I would say some of it kind of feels a little too what's the word for it, like sometimes it hinges on disbelief, like how a character ends up in this place. And I think also I may have to do a reread, because a lot of the stuff involving computers and tech, because this novel goes into a lot of the tech world, I found I was a little lost at times. It reminded me a lot of Michael Mann's recent film Black Hat he made a number of years ago, where it looks like Michael decided to go into a lot more into tech, hacking, all this types of cyber network that wasn't in the original Heat, because of course the original Heat took place in 1995. But I kind of was confused at times, but most of the time I really enjoyed myself. And it's just the way that's written, the way that both Michael Mann and Meg Gardiner write, like it captivates you, it keeps you reading. And I mean, I finished the book. Like sometimes when I read a novel and it doesn't get me, hooked, I never finish it. But this has enough in it to keep me reading, and I felt satisfied by the end. I will say that if you haven't watched the first Heat, you totally have to watch this movie. It is one of my favorite films of all time. I love Michael Mann as a director. Public Enemies, Collateral are some of my favorite films of all time, especially Heat. And please watch Heat and then read this book, because it's a sequel and it will definitely enhance your reading. And also, I would recommend watching Heat after you read the book too, because then you can build upon what you know of the characters, and it will help you with future watches for the film. So thank you so much for watching this review. Please, if you can, check out this book, Heat 2. Check out Heat, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.